sussing out your luck, going harder in the paint, and that's how you assert dominance.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Jake aka Tag, and today we're back at again pushing up high ladder with Xbow. We're 49 in the world right now. We're going to be using this Xbow deck to see how high we can get. So guys, let's go jump straight into some games and let's assert some dominance. So we got a game and I'm really liking the starting hand. I'm going to be cycling Skellies in the back and seeing what's up. We're going to go in for Ice Spirit in the lane of the 2 Skellies. And he still hasn't dropped anything, so I think he's going to eat that Ice Spirit damage like a champ. Unfortunately, he goes in for the Goblin Gang and we don't get that damage, but I like this matchup already. So it's either going to be a 3 Muskies or it's going to be a Logbait deck after seeing the Goblin Gang, and it's definitely going to be 3 Muskies. We didn't really have anything else in cycle, so we have to drop a Tesla. The pencil is going to hit the Tesla. It's not going to go toward the tower, and he's going to eat up a lot of damage there, so that was interesting. I wonder if he's going to try to bait out my Fireball. I'd rather not drop my Fireball. I kind of want to save it for the pump, so I'm going to go in for a defensive Xbow. Those Musketeers are going to get worked on by the Xbow really fast, and I'm not really going to try to defend my Xbow too much. I'm just going to go for a Skeleton Surround on top of that Muskie, and the Muskie should not get a single hit on the tower. Alright, well, the Muskie wouldn't have gotten a hit even if the Xbow wasn't there. If you Skeleton Surround it, it's so good for you. It just makes sure that the Musketeer doesn't actually get a single hit. If you drop it off to the side, sure, like the Skeletons do deny all but 1 hit from the Musketeer, but it's way better to Skeleton Surround. If you can time that perfectly, it's just so much more value. We're going to go drop another Tesla on defense, and he's going to be rocking 3 Musketeers Golem. Usually not the deck that I really want to see when I'm playing Xbow. It's a complete hard counter to me. But he still hasn't pumped up, so I still think that's, if there is a silver lining, he hasn't gotten a pump or elixir advantage on us, and that's something that's really solid for us. So I'm going to go drop Skeletons. The pencil will end up getting through. He goes in for, oh wow, so that was really good by him. Going in for those arrows ended up killing my archers, and unfortunately, we still have to deal with Steven the Spear Goblin. He's wreaking havoc on top of our tower, same with Bob the Barbarian. Guys, we really need to break through and get an Xbow on top of his tower when he doesn't have enough elixir for a Golem. Maybe if he goes Golem in the back, I'll rush opposite lane. We just need to make sure we're around same elixir as him. So we're going to go in for the Xbow right now. I assumed he was probably going to go in for a Golem in the back, but he's probably going to go right at the bridge now. Kind of unfortunate, but I'll get away with the Tesla, and then I'll drop archers. So I think after I kill this Golem, I'll have a pretty nice counter push. I'll be able to set up another Xbow before he's back to Golem. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. However, he might have pencil, so that's kind of devastating to us. If I go in for an Ice Golem and I go in for another Xbow, I think that I'll actually be able to make something happen though. So we're kind of relying on that. I want to go in for Skeletons and then Ice Spirit in the opposite lane and not even drop anything else. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Actually, I'm going to go in for a Log and then Skeletons and Ice Spirit. So Skeletons, Ice Spirit, that's going to deny everything. We're going to go in for Ice Golem. I think that we actually got the Xbow on top of the tower. So we're getting a lot of damage here. Still, the minions ended up cleaning it up, unfortunately, but it worked out really well for us. So archers might actually make him drop something. He has to drop Minion Horde as a response. He definitely did not want to do that. So I'm going to eat a lot of those minion hits, go in for a Tesla, and then go in for my Xbow. And that might allow me to actually take the tower here. I wonder if he's going to go in for a Golem. Alright, so I almost got really promiscuous and went in for a pre-log of some sorts. But we're going to go in for archers, we're going to go in for Ice Golem. I thought he was going to go in for arrows, but he just didn't. So we're going to go in for Log here. And unfortunately, I completely botched and missed all of those goblins. That's unexcusable. That's a really bad misplay. But at least the goblin will end up cleaning. At least the goblin does get cleaned up. Offensive. We're going to go in for another offensive Xbow. We're going to see if we can make something happen, guys. This is such a difficult matchup. We're almost going to be able to win this. And he's going to go give us some insane fireball value just because we haven't fireballed the entire game. I'm going to go in for a Log and then an Ice Spirit. Alright, so I dropped the Ice Spirit right on top. Fortunately, the Ice Spirit ended up connecting though. 17 seconds left and we're almost going to win this game. It was really close, guys. I could have fireball cycled him out at this point. I could have actually went in for a fireball and then just cycled back to another one, but it's just not going to be in time. That was a good game. That was well played, and good luck in the rest of your ladder session. We completely outplayed him this game. Just ran out of time. Really unfortunate, actually. Ugh. Feels bad, man. So we got a game against someone from Deep Swamp, and these guys are infamous for their Hog Rider deck. So I'm expecting a Hog Rider deck, and then he drops the Baby Dragon. So that is not going to be a Hog Rider deck, sir. That is actually going to be a Golem deck. So we're going to wait and see what he wants to do. I assume that he's probably not going to have enough elixir for a Golem, so we're going to rush opposite lane with an Xbow. He might go... Okay, so he's got Golem Rocket. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad, man. We're going to go in for an Ice Spirit at the bridge, and he's going to pump up. So, are we going to be able to cycle back? No, so we're going to actually have to fireball that, unfortunately. We weren't going to be able to cycle back to an Expo, so we have to fireball that pump and the tower. At least we occurred some massive damage on the left-hand side. There's going to be a solid, like, 1,000 damage, I guess. And we know what he's running, too, so there is that silver lining. Going to go in for another Ice Golem in the back, and he's going to go in for a Golem. So what I really want to do is I want to go cycle and go in for an offensive Xbow. So this offensive Xbow is going to apply a lot of pressure to him. I don't think he's going to be back to Rocket, so we might end up just taking the tower. So that's actually really solid. Ice Golem is going to be tanking, skeletons are there. That's too much of a menacing threat for him to actually deal with it. We're going to wait till the last possible second, drop our Tesla, and then also drop an Ice Spirit. So the Ice Spirit's going to draw the Mega Minion. He's going to lose the tower there, and we're going to also drop Ice Golem. So a little bit bad by us because we should have let the Baby Dragon just lock onto our tower, but we're going to go in for a log to make sure that we finish off the majority of the goblins. And yeah, we should have definitely let the Baby Dragon lock onto our tower and then drop the archers in the back. The archers would have finished it off, and then we would have done way more damage to the Baby Dragon. So that's a slight misplay. Might end up costing us the tower, but if you guys notice that, sometimes you actually have to let the Baby Dragon lock onto your tower, and I just didn't do it. So, feels bad, man. We're going to go in for a Fireball on top of the pump. We're going to also drop Ice Spirit to make sure that we get a little bit of chip damage. Best case scenario, we end up drawing this game. Worst case scenario, we end up taking a fat L. So, we're going to try to draw it, and we're going to go drop a defensive Tesla. So, he might drop units right on top. And he's going to go drop a Prince. Alright, dude. We see you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I could have actually won this game if I just didn't make that slight misplay. But we're just trying to make the best of this situation. Drop Ice Spirit here. And then also drop another defensive Tesla. Log everything backwards. Go in for Archers as soon as the Baby Dragon locks on. Learning from our mistakes. Dropping Skellies as well. And then another Ice Golem. So we got to make sure that we pull the Prince to the opposite lane. Otherwise, we're going to be in a crippling state of depression. The Prince just does way too much damage if he's left alone. Golems are actually going to be occurring. Oh, man, so many Golems. They're stacking up. Feels bad, man. We got to go in for a Tesla. Oh, the Tesla was dropped right on top of the Mega Minion. I really didn't think he was going to drop Mega Minion there. I should have preemptively guessed that, but feels bad, man. Sometimes they make misplays. Skeletons will end up finishing off the Golemites, but the Golemites are going to give him range for rockets. So that's going to be good game. That's going to be well played, and that's going to be good luck in the rest of your ladder session, my man. I got finesse simply because I made a slight misplay. Rip. Alright guys, so we got a game against the War Machine. He's going to be cycling a Knight in the back, and that's probably going to be a Hog Rider deck or an Expo deck. So I'm going to wait and see what he wants to pack. He might actually be running Graveyard, but no, this is going to be Mortar. So I was completely wrong on 3 fronts before I guessed the correct card. So as soon as he's going to be dropping the Mortar, I'm going to be a little bit scared. We got to make sure that we identify what type of Mortar deck he's running. He's going to be running Mortar Hog Rider. So we're going to try to get away with just an Ice Spirit, and we're going to try to go in for Archers as well. And what we really want to do is we want to make sure that as soon as he goes in for a Mortar, we go in for a Tesla on top of the Mortar and then counter push, or we drop defensive Expos and then utilize the defensive Expo to allow us to go in for an offensive Expo. So what I mean by that is I'm going to drop an offensive Expo, drop it up pretty high, and then he's not able to go in for a Mortar. And when that happens, then I have free reign of setting up another offensive Expo here because he doesn't have a Mortar on the field, right? So I'm going to go in for an Ice Spear to retarget, make sure it doesn't end up hitting my tower. So he's going to go in for Spear Goblins. That was a pretty adventurous maneuver by him. We're going to go in for Archers, and I think that we're going to get back to another Expo, and I don't know what he wants to do. He could go in for a Hog Rider opposite lane, but that's definitely what he's going to go. If he's going to go cycle Bats in the back, he's going to go in for the Hog Rider. He didn't go opposite lane. He went right into the Expo. So we're just going to go in for a log. That Expo is going to completely clean up the Hog Rider, and we don't care about it at all. So that was interesting to see. He got a few hits, but it's not too scary. So what I want to do is I want to go in for an offensive Expo or a defensive Expo. Defensively aggressive Expo. Okay, that's the terminology that I was looking for. I'm going to go in for Ice Spirit, and we're getting ready for a Minion Horde, but he doesn't really want to drop it. Okay, this guy is weird. Really thought the Minion Horde was coming down. I'm going to go in for an Ice Golem to shield the majority of our Expo, and we're not going for an offensive Expo. We want to set up for another Expo. He can't drop a Mortar because our Expo is so high. So he's got to go in for a Hog Rider. Now he doesn't have a counter for our second Expo. Okay, never mind, guys. He's got the Rocket. You know, he's not supposed to have another counter for our second Expo, but he did. So we're probably going to end up drawing this game, unfortunately. But that's usually what you want to do. You guys saw I got his Hog Rider out of cycle, and he didn't. If you drop a Mortar, it's not going to actually tank or do enough damage to my Expo. So that's usually what you want to do. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out quite for us. So we're going to have to go in for another defensive Expo. He might go in for a Hog Rider, or he might go in for a Rocket. It is yet to be seen. So we're going to go in for an Ice Spirit, another Ice Golem, and we just have all the icy units on the map. We're going to try to go in for another Expo. We know for a fact it's going to get rocketed, but we're just kind of biding our time and waiting out for the draw at this point. So we know that he's either going to go in for a Mortar or a Hog Rider after we see the Knight. We know that he's going to apply a lot of pressure. We're going to go in for our Tesla Tesla is going to completely deny all damage from the Hog Rider, and he's going to be going in really hot. So maybe, just maybe, we will be able to outcycle him here. So what I want to do is I want to cycle my Ice Spear, I want to cycle Skeletons, I want to get back to another Xbow, and go in for that right now. So he's going to be down a little bit of Elixir. We do not want to drop an Ice Golem right in front because we know an Xbow is coming down, or a Rocket is coming down on our Xbow. And now we're going to try to vigorously cycle back to another. If we can in time, maybe we can make something happen. We know that for a fact that he doesn't actually have Rocket back in cycle. So he's going to go in for a Mortar. We're going to go in for an Ice Golem, and we're trying to cycle back to a Tesla because we know the Hog Rider is coming soon. And unfortunately, we did not get back to it in time, so we're going to have to go in for Log, Ice Spirit, and then also Archers. We're going to eat a lot of damage on our Xbow, but hopefully it's going to stay alive. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So that was really well played. It was exceedingly close at the end, but it's just going to end up being a draw, guys. In the end, it didn't even matter. Feels bad, man. We're going to drop a Tesla. The Mortar is going to go shoot it, but it's going to go into hibernation, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to go in for another Fireball just to clean up the Hog Rider. Make sure it doesn't get any hammer hits on us because we really don't appreciate that type of behavior. Good game, well played, and good luck in the rest of your ladder session, man. Alright guys, we got a game against a Nova brother, Knickknack from Nova Esports. We're going to be dropping Skeletons, or we're going to be dropping Archers at the bridge, and then our Skeletons right on top of the Hog. Also going to have to drop Ice Spirit. Hog Rider will only get one hit, and that means that we're going to go in hot with an Xbow. So you don't want to go same lane as where they have the Hog Rider, because then they can start fireballing, logging, and get the value there. You always want to set the precedent of going opposite lane. I'm going to go cycle an Ice Golem just to make sure that we don't eat up any damage from the Steven. And then we're going to start cycling our opposite lane Xbow. So he's got Mortar. I really was not expecting Mortar. He's got Mortar Rocket. Oh, Knickknack. Why you got to do me like this, bro? We were doing so well, and you just had to bring out the Rocket. This is why we can't have nice things in life, guys. We're going to drop Skeletons to make sure the Ice Spirit doesn't connect to our tower, and we're actually incurring massive damage on our tower. So Knickknack, definitely have a knack for getting damage on me, bro. Doing me dirty. We're going to go opposite lane with an Ice Spirit, and this is going to be a disastrous game. I really don't like playing against Mortar Hog Rider with Rocket. Usually when it's just Mortar Hog Rider, it can be okay, but with Rocket, it's very, very difficult. We're going to try to go in for an Xbow. We want to see what he wants to do. He's going to go in for a Hog Rider, so we're going to try to apply some pressure with the Tesla, and then also go in for a Log to clean up all the Spear Goblins. Maybe we're actually going to get a connection here. Guys, it might be a miracle. Oh my god. Alright, well, the Rocket came out, so... That was so anticlimactic. I really was hoping we were going to get damage, but this is why we can't have nice things, guys. As I said before, he has the Rocket. We're going to go Ice Spirit at the bridge, and we're going to try to get some connection here. Ice Spirit is going to jump gleefully on top of the Spear Goblins, not on top of the tower. I was hoping for some tower connection. We're going to try to apply some more pressure. Last time he went in for a Hog Rider, and then we went in for just a Log, and it worked out really well. So I feel like just doing this might actually, yeah, it's actually going to get some connection. This is working out really well. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it worked out really well. He had a horrible cycle. We took advantage of it, and we basically took tower. And he's running Hog Rider Rocket with Mortar. You can drop Hog Rider to finish off the Xbow. You can drop Rocket. You can drop Mortar defensively and then distract. He has multifarious answers, but it just didn't matter. Oh, man, he went in for the prediction on the Xbow. Or maybe he doesn't care. I don't know, guys. That was a Chief Pat Rocket regardless. So that was a tribute to Chief Pat. We can say good game, well played, and good luck in the rest of your ladder session. He is a Nova brother, and so I don't know. I hope he doesn't think that I BM'd him. I actually meant good game and well played. So we're just going to go in for an Xbow. We're going to try to take the 3 crown. We're trying to get that nice juicy ratio. We're all about that. We're about that life of getting that 3 crown ratio on our profile. So that's it. Good game, well played, and good luck in the rest of your ladder session, Knickknack. Now, that was a pretty funny game. And that's actually where we're going to end today's video. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for chilling with me, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Peace out.